How are you?
Hi, Alexandra. I'm pretty good, pretty excited. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I'm very, very happy that you're on the show.
Me too. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first podcast that I ever attend, even though I regularly do IG lives and so on. But this is the first podcast for me. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. I thought it was really, really cool to have you on and to find out all about your journey. So why don't we start? So tell us a little bit about yourself, um, where you from, what you do, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Sounds good. So my name is Maria. That's very straightforward. I am from Canada, but originally I am from Russia. So what I do is I'm actually a business and a life mentor. So I currently have two businesses that I manage. So the first one is dedicated more to entrepreneurship, and I help businesses to come up with a soul aligned strategy. And I really like this definition, soul align, which helps you to create consistent cash flow.
Mhm.
And my second business, where right now this is my mostly focus, is it's community for personal growth and development, manifest change society. So I really want to create a safe space where women could really have this oasis in life. It's a safe space where you can really receive a knowledge to support, to connect with yourself, to realize, okay, well, what the heck do I want to do in my life? Because we're always on the go, 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 go.
Mhm.
And really have an action plan that you can follow and you really can manifest, your dream life. And
Mm.
you're not doing this by yourself and you're not being stressed. You have this community of powerful women behind you that really can uplift you, motivate you,
Yeah,
cheer you up. So
yeah.
that's what I do.
Yeah, and Maria, this is absolutely amazing because we women in entrepreneurships, I find there's a lot of women who are stuck. And you're leaving this corporate world and you're going in to become a businesswoman or business person, and you don't know where to start. Where do you start?
Exactly.
Where do you go look for? So, can you elaborate a little bit? So, let's say, how do you work with people? What do you do?
So there's a different approaches right now. What I currently have is, like let's say for entrepreneurship, it's usually one-on-one,
Mhm.
where I pretty much guide you and I work with you one-on-one to see where you are in your journey. Because I like to understand what you're going through and I like to connect with people around me. For me, it's very important because for me, it's not about transaction; it's about partnership.
Mm.
And this is a strong value of me and my business, where I'm here to serve. I'm here to make your life better.
Mhm.
So I work a lot with one-on-one. I right now have this free community for personal growth and development. So right now it's free. It's available for everyone. And I also right now develop a course which related to manifestation and time management, where I share my knowledge and expertise. This is a course, but again, I work one by one to guide you through this journey. Okay, well, what do you want in this life? And let me help you to get there. You can see,
Mm.
like, in both my businesses, there's a lot of similarities because it's coming from my core values.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I'm just here to amplify your energy. I'm here to activate what you truly meant to be, and I'm
Mm.
here to help you to reach whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
So
whatever goal, right, in your
yeah,
business.
yes, there's a lot of like 101 that I currently have, but again, like I do have this free community where, for example, we host on a Thursday, every Thursday, and actually I would love to have you, Alexandra, with your journey.
Thank you.
And your expertise is we have an expert in a different niche related to personal growth and development where you can get this free support. Like, for example, next month we're gonna have a holistic nutritionist.
Hmm.
So I am gonna host soon monthly planning sessions where we're gonna jump on a Zoom call and gonna plan your months for success. So there's kind of a different ways how people can connect, and I'm all about sharing the right information with the right people.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go back to coming together, especially as women, because we women tend to be very catty sometimes,
Yes.
and having that kind of community where we really can uplift each other
Yeah.
and really thrive in this kind of environment instead of being very territorial in a way, right? So having someone like you creating these communities, or anybody who's creating these communities, I
Yeah.
think it's so important to literally go in and check it out. I don't see why not. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Go check it out, see if you like it. I mean, you might learn a thing or two, right? So,
Yes, absolutely. One of the biggest insight that I learned 3 years ago, or four, I was reading a book, and it was a quote that say, "Well, your motivation is gonna go away. Your
mm-hmm.
surrounding is more important than your motivation."
Mm.
It's blew my mind. I'm
Mm.
like, is it so simple, right? And that's why we have so many communities, so many, like, for example, even a gym. People that go to gym and they join this membership or yoga studio, they're more likely to keep going because they have these communities and empire. And I know, especially, like, I'm gonna come back to your point, Alexander, thank you so much, about women.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, and I don't want to go back, a very long time ago, but for some reason, we were born, we were raised sometimes to compete with each other. And,
Mm-hmm.
here again, here's like some historical reasons for that. But right now, I feel like I'm in a point of my life where I admire powerful, beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
ambitious, smart, intelligent, wise, funny, like woman around me that I want to be surrounded by this woman. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
inspired myself. And if there's anything specific, traits or quality I'm looking for that I want to develop in myself, I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I really like the fact that Alexandra is feeling so comfortable to host her own podcast. So for me, it's like, wow, I really admire this because I'm not in a stage where I would feel comfortable, for example, to host my own podcast. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. It opens opportunities for me just
Mm-hmm.
by having the right people.
Yeah, and being open and receiving, right? So, like you said, manifestation.
Oh,
How do you incorporate that in your practice? Because I believe in manifestation. I believe it's huge in our business,
yeah.
and without it, you're kind of shooting into the darts. So, can you speak to that?
Yeah, of course. So many. I love this. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I truly believe in manifestation, and before I thought it's some kind of like woohoo magic. Before I actually started diving deep what it's all about. And I even included in my course about like, I call it non-traditional time management because it's a little bit much more about just having to-do list. I do have some practices when it comes to manifestation, and we do create like vision boards. Because if you're gonna look at manifestation, not many people realize, but manifestation is equal intention plus inspire action.
Mm.
So if you're gonna break this down, intention, this is your thoughts, your ideas, what you would like to have in your life. So let's say when every time I have this practice, when sometimes, not every time, but if I have something important coming up, I have intention. So, for example, today coming to this podcast, I didn't have enough sleep, to be honest, last night. I'm not sure why I usually have such a good sleep. I had a little bit disaster with my business today. Received a couple bad news, and I was like all over the place today before coming on site, coming like here today. And I spent like I don't know, like 10 minutes before, and I'm like, okay, well, my intention to really share my story, to really share what I know, and to help other to feel more inspired. So
Mhm.
that was my intention when I came on this podcast. When I was, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to kind of prepare myself in a mental state, right? I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna put some extra makeup because I'm feeling a little bit down, right? Because when we put in a little bit some extra
Mhm.
self care, we feel more energized. So in this case, like I spent extra time as I was quickly putting my makeup. I put some relaxing music on the background. I put some intention. I have my candles right beside me, right?
Mhm.
So, and it just, all this intention, it helped me because I have this intention, kind of helped me to have this inspire action where I start preparing myself mentally and I start putting my intention in action. And
Mhm.
it's the key word is inspired action. It's not just any action that's gonna come to you. You wanna feel inspired. You wanna feel that you have this sparkle inside you. And I like to use this like word like sparkle. Like you need to sparkle, you need to feel alive, you need to feel energized.
You
Because when
do.
you feel energized, you are in this high vibration frequency
Mhm.
where universe is just kind of working with you and your dreams all coming together. But at the end of it
Right.
again, like it's intention that you're throwing at the universe, and then you're looking for opportunities and you connected with yourself and you're thinking about, okay, well, what some of the actions I can take today in order to be closer to my dreams and my goals.
Mm. That's beautiful. Yeah, no, I agree. I think manifestation is so wonderful. Without it, it's like, again, like I said earlier, you're like literally shooting in the darts. It's
Yeah.
like the unknown. You don't know what's going on.
And
So
and
having
people,
that,
oh, sorry,
yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
go ahead.
And I believe many people don't really understand what they want.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of confusion for sure.
And we live in this routine, go, 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 kids, work, doing my grocery, I need to call him to make an
You're on
appointment.
the autopilot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And if I'm gonna ask people around me, like, what do you want? I have like a list, like a big, big list what I want. But if you ask a person, what do you want? Not many people gonna come up with this list right away.
Mm. They have to think about it for a little
Then you
bit.
just think about it, and it's all coming back to this intention. How can I put intention out there, and which helps our brain to focus what we need to work on if we don't really even know what we want.
So have you seen in your clients, have you seen the shift in their perception of their business, for example? When they're like big storm over here and they're not sure what they want, how they want it. And then once they realize and they get into that state of calmness, manifestation, meditation, knowing what you want, what goals you have, do they succeed?
Well, I want to say yes, but let me elaborate,
Yeah.
because success is different for everyone.
Yes.
So do they succeed? I want to say yes, because for me, obviously, once we establish what you're looking for, we come up with a plan how we can make it happen. And I truly believe if you're gonna put some work, you will succeed. Uh, but it's a journey, it's a process.
It depends where they
So
want to
one
go. Yeah.
exactly right. Once you get to your goal, there will be always next one and one more and one more. So how can we say this person is succeed if this is ongoing journey?
Yes.
You never
Absolutely.
stop in this process.
I believe in that.
Uh,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
and that's why I hesitate in the beginning. It's like, do they succeed? Yes, they succeed, but there's always this okay, next step.
The next
And
level.
sometimes I do know that it's not linear process. There is ups and downs, especially when we going outside of a comfort zone, especially if we're making a changes. One of the biggest misconception when it comes to like personal growth and development is that, okay, well, I'm gonna meditate and my life will be absolutely amazing. But, and meditation just an example. But you sit down, you start meditating, it's hard,
Not
it's
everybody can do it.
challenging.
Yeah.
You start facing with your own inner demons. You look at yourself and you face with sometimes the facts, oh wow, I don't wanna do that anymore.
Yeah.
I have a clients where they come to me, they have one picture and we start looking and we start creating a plan. And after working together, I always have a question like, what do you want? What makes you happy? How do you feel? Are you comfortable with this? I always have this check-in with my clients. Are we going in the right direction? Are you sure this is the right direction? Because sometimes, I don't want to give all answers, right? So
No, no.
especially like when especially like I'm stepping out as a coach, and that's the reason why I like being a mentor more. Because there's quite different as a coach. You kind of not supposed to give answers. As a mentor, you can give answers, but even if you know the answers, not everyone is willing to
Right.
to accept it. And so and I always have this like check in, like I like, are you sure this is what especially like when I know that this person is like kind of going a little bit off, because sometimes like at least I could feel when person is not in the right place. Like my superpower kind of like to see if you're in the right place. So for me, like I always check in, and sometimes like we have one strategy, we have one approach, and then after a while, and I'm not gonna pretend that I'm mind blowing like mentor and coach is gonna transform your life. I'm being very transparent and being very open. Despite that I have been doing this for many years, I don't want to say that I'm the best of the best and the best and can solve your problems, in a 2 minutes. Now, right? It takes time for me to as well to realize, to fully understand.
Yeah.
what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm being very honest, it's probably like from a business perspective, it's probably not the best way to sell myself. But here I am. This is what you got. This is me as a human being that truly genuinely
Transparency,
trying to help
Maria,
you.
is the best medicine, because if you're not being
Mm-hmm.
transparent and you don't share that with someone, then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, um, people I notice don't like lying, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
coaches out there. I mean, everybody's a
Yeah.
coach these days. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
how can you try? I mean, I came across a couple people that it turned me off. I was like, I can't. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not
Yeah.
interested. You know. But you're right. Being transparent, being honest, and like you said, you're a human being. We're all human beings, and we're here to um, learn and grow and help others. So, I mean, I think that's beautiful what you're doing.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
sometimes it takes 360 degrees, you
absolutely.
know? You can all of a sudden you have like again like one plan and after having a conversation and it's actually pretty common again and I think it's maybe related to the way how I work and if a person not in the right place when I start working, if person going in the right direction and I start challenging this person, I start working with this person,
Mhm.
there's could be this, turbulence period of time where everything is just upside down. You're
Mhm.
changing your world, but you're changing this world for your better. And I think this is the biggest misconception that people have. And that while I decided to be on this journey of personal growth and development, and my life will be better every day in every way.
Right.
But it's not.
There's always up and
You
down.
might have like totally down for a period of time when you need to make these changes, especially it's very hard in the beginning where you live whole your life without truly thinking where you're going, and at one point you kind of waking up and like, this is not jobs that I want, this
Yeah.
is not a partner that I want to be, this is not a country where where I want to live, this is not a friend that I like to hang out. And
Mm.
you're looking at all the rest of your life and you're like, I'm screwed right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
game over. It's like I don't want to live like that.
Yeah.
And when you're in this, I would say, period of time, it's hard to make all these changes, but the more you work on yourself, the more you're addicted to your life, the easier you open for all these changes and the better and better it's getting every day.
Mm. I so agree with you on this one. Absolutely. I've been there. I know it.
I think we all been there,
I
right?
think we all been there. And I think without that shake up, we wouldn't be where we are right now in our life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. So tell me a little bit, how did you got interested being a coach? What were you working in, like the corporate world, and that kind of shifted for you? Can you share?
Oh my gosh. Okay,
We
so
have plenty of time.
um okay, so let me first start saying that I'm a chicken. What I'm saying by that, I like my comfort zone.
Hmm.
I don't like changes. Never in my life I thought that I'm going to become an entrepreneur.
Mm. Why not?
Never.
It
I
was
just did.
never,
I
yeah,
didn't
never there,
know.
never
I
crossed your
didn't
mind.
know that I have what it takes.
Hmm.
And like looking back, I'm like, and I've been in a business for quite some time, right? So right now, right, I have good social media. I build two businesses. I have a clients all over the world. I'm a public speaker. I accomplished quite a lot, but I'm
Hmm.
still being humble about what I have accomplished. And it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of commitment and hard work to be where I am today. and as well, to help other businesses, like, reach 10K, 20K, right?
Hmm.
And I never thought years ago, and it's all started with pandemic. I was just kind of curious because I was always in a business.
Hmm.
My corporate job was related to project management, to business development,
Hmm.
marketing, sales, and so on. And just I was kind of looking, okay, what did businesses do in order um, to survive during pandemic? And obviously, it was online space. Just as a because I was curious. It still started because I was curious. Like, what do people start doing, right? So, and I started looking at social media, Instagram specifically. I remember my friend when I just started taking the first move, and I didn't have Instagram at all. Um, I'm like, I was talking with my best friend, and I was sharing this little bit idea. Oh, you know what? I want to try. I want to see, if I can become like a social media influencer, can help others to grow business through social media and so on. And she's like, and she's my best friend that knows me for a very long time. I just don't see yourself doing this.
That's what you tell you.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I don't think I can do it. Anyways, so I started taking this inspire action, to be honest. I was
Hmm.
just curious. I took one course there. I had a conversation there. I read this article. I started following people, and I started learning more. I started practicing. I started doing little by little, step by step. And then one of my friends asked me if I can help with the social media to grow Instagram, get more clients. I'm like, well, I'm gonna give it a try. So, and that's how it all started. And obviously, I just keep doing what I like to do, what I enjoy to do, and here I am. A few years later, having two successful businesses, right?
Yeah.
And because I was, and like business requires a lot of transformational work, a lot of transformational work.
Hmm.
So, and I always was hooked on the mindset because there is a knowledge and there is a mindset.
Hmm.
It's a good example. Like everyone knows that in order to lose weight, you need to go and exercise and,
Change your
you know,
diet.
yeah, exactly, right? But
Hmm.
there is a mindset part, like what kind of person do you need to become in order to be this healthy, fitted person when,
Hmm.
let's say that wants to lose weight, right? It's a mindset work. So in the business, it's as well, right? I knew how to like all these tools, strategy. Okay, well, how can I make this 10K monthly, right? I'm like,
Right.
okay, well, I know knowledge, but there is what kind of person do you need to become, you
Yeah.
know? So I started working on my confidence, on my speaking, on just on myself in general, right?
Hmm.
And I was hooked. I was totally hooked. I started learning podcast, like listening podcasts, taking courses, reading books, lots of things. I tried Reiki, started learning about manifestation. Just recently, I decided to stand on the nails for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I recently applied to, and actually right now I'm studying at a Harvard University.
Good for
It's a
you.
science and science and psychology about managing happiness. So
Yeah.
I'm still kind of in this kind of like journey.
Yeah.
So how I started my business, I have no idea. But a few
Just
years later,
happened.
it just happened. It just happens, and I just follow my heart. I
Hmm.
follow what this is what I like to do, and all this different experience, all this different I don't know, circumstances that just led me to who I am right now. But again, it started like as an accident. I didn't know I have what it takes.
Mm.
And the reason why I'm sharing this story because I want to tell people, if you think that you're not able to change your life, trust me, I was there. I was there. I didn't know that I could become entrepreneur. I didn't know that I could become influencer on social media. I didn't know that I could be a public speaker.
Mm.
I was a pretty average girl, had lived pretty average life, and I just started taking action and follow my heart.
Mm. You just said it. I think you just hit the nail in the head really hard, because all my guests, my previous guests that I've had on my show, they all say that what they do, it comes from their heart, literally. Because if it didn't, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. And I
Absolutely.
think all of us, or most of us, need to start listening and connecting, or connecting our brains with our heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being incoherent with both the brain and the heart. And that
Mm-hmm.
way you can truly find yourself, or find the path that you were supposed to be on.
Exactly. You feel aligned. Okay,
Yes.
well, it's about alignment of your life. Okay, well, why do I live on this earth? Because
Yeah.
if you are not sure about this, and it takes a while until you're going to find the answers, and many people stuck. I'm like, well, I don't know what I want to do in life, and they feel stuck. But it's the most beautiful part right now where you are, because it's all about exploring. It's
Mhm.
all about trying new things. It's all about taking, classes, different kind of trying new experience. You're learning about yourself, and
Mhm.
only by learning about yourself, you could really find out like the real purpose. And when you find this real purpose, you feel you live a lot, you feel more
Yeah.
alive, and you
Yeah.
have this purpose that makes you energized, and so on. But don't be stuck on the fact that, well, I don't know what I want to do. Well,
Yeah.
go and explore. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun.
So I'll tell you a story with my
Yes,
podcast.
please.
I've been wanting to do the podcast for the past, let's say, 4 or 5 years. And every time it was this scare, it would be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not a public speaker. I can't do it. I had that
Mhm.
fear. So, through my modeling, through my other jobs that I've had, all that stuff, like, yes, I was in the public eye. Yes, I was doing all this stuff, but I just couldn't face myself to be on the camera and be asking questions.
Yeah.
And my friend, like, I met up with this, well, he's my friend now, Jason. And I said to him, I said, what's my next step? And he goes, just fucking go and do it. Don't hesitate.
Yeah.
So it took me probably after a year and a half. And then finally, last year, I was like, that's it. I'm doing it. If I mess up, then so be it. That's me. This is authentic me, like we talked about earlier. It comes from here. Just having a conversation. It's not about scripting. It's not about what I know, because this podcast is also something for me to learn through others, and to share this information with the world, or at least my
Hmm.
audience. So,
Hmm.
I
Beautiful.
think it's important, like you said earlier, is just really tap in to that awareness and be like, you know what? I'm curious. I want to discover. I want to find out more. I want to either taste it, I
Yeah.
don't know, do whatever. Do whatever makes you happy.
Exactly, exactly. I'm so proud of you and thanks for
You know, the
sharing. It's
thing is, I
very
also popped in my head, I'm like, is this podcast for everybody? No. And the thing is that before, I would always think, oh my gosh, no one's gonna like it. Who's gonna like me? Oh my gosh, I need, like, I want, no, I'm not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I am only going to attract people who are want to listen to this podcast.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with
yeah,
it because it's not for them,
yeah.
it's for me.
That's beautiful. Another interesting point that I want to touch point is, for example, like this is my first podcast that I'm doing.
Hmm.
And even though I mentioned before, I do IG lives on a regular basis, or Facebook lives, or even being like a public speaker, which I feel like it's so much harder when you go in front of people.
Yeah.
And I feel like the difference between more successful people and less successful people is that it doesn't mean that I'm not afraid. I'm still
Mm.
afraid, but I make a choice to make it happen.
Yes, that's it. That's it. It doesn't matter if you mess up or not. It's okay. We're humans. We make mistakes. It's totally normal. And, just one thing at a time, right? If you make a mistake, you learn
Absolutely.
from it. And then, next time when you go get up on the stage or you get up on the next podcast, you be better. You know what to say. You remember more, right? Because right now, probably too, you're like, oh my goodness, oh, do I say this? How, like, I know, because my first podcast was the same way. I'm like, what kind of question do I ask? Oh my God, is it appropriate?
Yeah, definitely. The only way how you can improve it
Yep,
is to start. You
that's
don't need
it.
to be great to start, but you need to start to be great.
That's it. That's it. That's
So
it.
yeah, definitely.
So, Maria, you mentioned about your course. Can you share that with the audience?
I definitely can.
Was
It's
about
still it,
how can people sign
it
up for it?
so it's still work in progress.
Okay.
So I'm right now working on developing a website. So the best way, definitely reach out to me directly, and especially because if you want to join this free supportive community, I will definitely gonna send you the link to join. Um, right now, I being very picky about people that I choose.
Hmm.
So it's not available for public yet. And again, I'm not trying to to say, oh, this is like such a special secret course. No, it's just because I'm being very selective about people that able to sign up for this course. And as I mentioned before, for me, it's important to know what people are looking for this course, so I can definitely say, okay, that's for you, that this is not for you. But
Hmm.
here's what I have, and I'm gonna share what I have, and it also give you like a few tips. So the way how this course is structured, it's in the 4 weeks. So the first week we do some kind of time and energy audit. So we're looking at where you are in your life, and we have this kind of like slow down a little bit. Like, okay, we look around and checking
Hmm.
what's going on. Why do you feel tired all the time? Why do you feel like you all of a sudden this go 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 mode?
Hmm.
What currently in your calendars that you schedule that you don't want to do, but for some reason you feel obligated. So we
Hmm.
have like a little bit check in where you are in your life, and there is some strategies that I give. Okay, well, how to say no to people, because it's very important sometimes to set boundaries, to say no to people, or what can we do with activities that we don't really like, because that's how I kind of categorize sometimes activities like, okay, I don't like it, I like it, and that's my philosophy. Do whatever you makes you happy. That's my philosophy, and I totally agree with this approach. So we kind of check in, and again, this is what people can also do. This is what you like, this is what you don't like. What can we do with a list of activities that you don't really like? For example, delegate. That's one of the ways, and obviously there's like kind of more that I share. So this is kind of like a first week, which already very very powerful. So the second week is related to vision board. Not many people take vision board seriously, and again, it's kind of like there's a little bit this woohoo component.
Yeah.
But the reason why vision board helps us to establish our priorities. When people don't really know and they have too many things all at once, it's just because they don't really have a vision board. They don't really understand what's important for them. And our brain doesn't understand the difference between real pictures and real life. So when we say that, oh well, we would like to have like I don't know, as lose weight. I always come up with this lose weight example because I think everyone can relate to this losing weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so when we let our brain focus on losing weight, our brain is such a powerful machine that's gonna find a solution and opportunities. So just kind of like out of curiosity, if you're gonna drive next time, look, pick a color in your mind, like let's say red. When you will be driving and you say, okay, I'm just gonna notice red, you will notice red all the time, even though you never pay attention. Or for example, I only want to look for like, I don't know, like only Honda, and you will see Honda all the time around you, and you
For
stop
me,
noticing.
yeah, for me is number 97.
Yeah,
I do practices. I will drive on the highway and I'll say to myself, I want to see 97. And literally, I kid you not, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it works. I
yeah,
look at the plate, there is a 97. And I'm like, oh
exactly.
my goodness, I love it.
Yeah, that's how our brain
Yeah,
works. It's just like, okay, well, here's where our focus, that's where energy goes.
that's
So we
it.
want to give our brain, where do we need to focus?
That's it.
And that's why I love vision board. I love creating vision boards, and that's the reason why I include this information kind of on a second week. On a third week, we it's a mindset work,
The
because
important
sometimes, okay,
piece.
well, we
Yeah.
have time, we have energy, we know what we want, but then we blocked. We have limited beliefs, we procrastinating, we feel afraid, we struggle with perfectionism, all this mindset work. And like, okay, well, do we have right now limited beliefs? Like, how do we overcome it, right? So
Yeah.
all this mindset work that blocks you from actually taking the next step, that's the reason why I included in this course. And I keep saying this is like time management course, but every time when I talk about this is not about time management. It's just like much more. I just need to come up with a better name, and that's what right now stops me from actually
Yeah.
having a conversation with a designer and with developer to create this website,
Okay.
because I know this is not time management. This is
Yeah,
much
it will
more.
change. Something will
Mhm.
come for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's how I approach right now. And this is sometimes what I do. Sometimes, like let's say when I feel like a little bit stuck, I like to imagine myself, okay, well, dear brain, I need to figure out this. I'm gonna let you to think a few days. I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna focus on something else. You go and think. And
Ah,
for me, such a game changer because I know our brain is just so powerful. It's gonna keep
yeah,
thinking if I'm gonna have this intention, and it's gonna come up with a
yeah,
solution. I even don't need to bother about it because I know my brain is gonna come up with something.
yeah. You're right. It is because we tend to, like we said earlier, we're on this autopilot and we're
Yeah,
constantly rush to do things, and our brain doesn't have that time to go back to really think about it, or it just maybe doesn't want to think about it. Like, you don't want to think about these things sometimes, right? And like you said, procrastination, you put it aside, you're not really focused on it, and it could takes, look at me, podcast,
yeah,
4 years, 2 years, and then fine, it's those little things that I think you know create these exhaustions in people.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's the reason why I include this mindset work, in this course as well. And the
Mhm.
last piece last week, it's about creating healthy habits.
Yes,
So let's say, and you say such a beautiful sentence. We live on an autopilot.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of people think it's a bad thing, but I believe it's such a powerful description that we can take it to our advantage. How about we're just gonna create routine and behavior that we live on an autopilot that's gonna to support us, that's gonna empower us. Right now, we go and brush our teeth, we don't think about it.
Hmm.
What if we're gonna develop a series of habits, series of routine in your life that's going to
Help you.
help you to accomplish your goals? Because I love the fact that we live on an autopilot, that's 80 or 90% of our brain, and we don't need to think about it. We
Right,
just like go and do it.
right.
Because when I'm thinking too much sometimes, it's hard. Can you imagine if I every time when I need to brush my teeth, I need to think about it?
Yeah,
No, sometimes I don't want to do it. I want to live on an autopilot, but I want to create this routine that gonna help me.
yeah, that's a good point because when I was talking about autopilot, yes, we get into the
But
bad
I know
habits
what
and
you
the
mean.
way.
I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, but you're right. If you take that and use it into your advantage, why not? Right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's that practice, it's that mindset, which brings you back to the course when actually, if you do these steps and then you navigate through your life knowing what these, I call them triggers, or being on that autopilot and whatever, I think it's very, very important, very crucial in your life. Either it's in your personal life, your business life, or whatever it is. So, yeah, thank you for
Mm-hmm.
sharing. Absolutely great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My pleasure, and that's the reason why I included. I'm like, okay, well, again, like first you do like energy time audit, you letting
Yep.
go what necessary, you identify what you like to do, you identify your priorities, you work on your mindset, you creating this like little habits, and I host right now started hosting monthly planning session for free,
Mhm.
where we actually sit down as a group. I'm like, okay, well, what are our goals for next month and so on. And this is we do it like on a monthly basis, like for free.
Mhm.
But like in my course, I provide like a little bit more reason behind
Mhm.
why we need to do it in this in a certain way. I actually give you like a system how you can develop habits and so on.
Mhm.
So because it's also very important when you plan your day and when you plan your months, 1 hour of planning can save you like 10 hours of doing.
Right.
So and so that's kind of the reason why, okay, well, as a part of a monthly planning, I take well, just gonna simplify this for here, but it's a little bit more complicated. So I take one habit a month, and I develop it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it could be something small, right? That's how, for example, I started meditating. I just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna start meditating in the morning, and that was only one habit that dramatically impacts my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I only make a small shift, like 5 minutes a day,
Mm-hmm.
for 30 days, for 1 month, and then it became my routine, and I was able to to do something, next habit. And as well as, we can use this as a way how we can remove our negative habits, because it's also something like, okay, well, maybe I need to remove a habit, or maybe I need to add a habit. This is where you kind of like playing a little bit, uh, and you coming back on your vision board. You're coming back, well, what do you want to accomplish? What kind of life do you need to live every day to really create your dream life?
Mm. Do you want to wake up in the morning and be feeling sorry for yourself, or do you want to wake up in the morning feeling the fire in yourself and wanting to do that? Right. That's a huge one. It's a huge one for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
What really
you say
motivates me?
beautifully.
What really wants me to get up early in the morning? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So Maria, any final thought would you like to share with the audience?
Any final thoughts? Well, I always have a lot of thoughts. Um, well, it's a good question. Let me again. I have like just so so much right now that I want to share that it's hard to
Pick one.
to pick one. Um, I just wanna retouch this a little bit, but it's such a beautiful way of lifestyle. It's about do what makes you happy. What's interesting about this, I can guarantee every person, and maybe not every person, but many people are gonna hear this. Yeah, sure, like do what makes you happy, but I have kids, I have work, I have this, and I have this. All these valid reasons and all these limiting beliefs that you have, all these excuses that right now saying, well, yeah, I do what I want, but this and this and this and this, in a core in a like inside you, you don't believe it. You coming up with all these excuses that your life, you don't deserve, to be happy. And I think this is something that, think about it, what kind of feelings gonna come up inside you when I'm telling you do what makes you happy.
Mm.
Because I can guarantee a lot is gonna pop up right away in your head. So that's something that I just wanted to share. Is this is like a very very good place to start, and I want you to tell you that, because I'm truly believe we control our life, we control our thoughts, we control our reality. Everything is possible. The universe just supports us, and I do believe that universe has only three answers for you for all, whatever you're thinking, even if it's negative or is it's positive. The universe is going to tell you yes, and it's going to make you dream come true. And again, it could be negative thoughts that you have, or it could be positive thoughts. It could say yes, but later. That's why some of the dreams not happening right away. So it's yes, universe tells you yes all the time, but yes, but a little bit later.
You're
Just
not
be patient
ready.
with it.
Hmm.
Yeah. And the last answer is such a beautiful answer. There's something better for you coming up.
Mm. Yes.
And
Yes.
that's when I thought about it when I read it somewhere. Honestly, I don't remember from where because I read so much information. But for me, it was like, okay, well, there's only two options: yes, now, yes, later, or there's something better coming up. And that's exactly my mantra. I know something better coming up, and it's going to work out even better than I can
Right.
imagine. And that's how I live. This is how my motto. It takes me a while until I get to this point, but that's what it's all about.
Mm,
You purpose in life just to be happy.
mm.
So go explore what makes you happy and live life on your own terms.
This is beautiful because a lot of people, again, holding on to these things, even when the universe says yes, but later, or yes, something's better coming, but you're holding on to something that doesn't serve you anything. So I
Yeah.
think what you said, it really, really also resonates with me, and probably with a lot of people, but this is absolutely true. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you, and thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity for being here and share my knowledge and expertise,
Absolutely. I'm super happy you said
wisdom.
yes. Hopefully, we'll have another opportunity down the road and see how you grow. And then you never know what might happen. So what I'll
Absolutely.
do is I'll have all your information in the notes. So if anybody would like to follow you or contact you, we'll have all the information for them to message you.
Awesome, amazing.